with a big majority of lawmakers voting to grant President Rodrigo Duterte's wish for a one-year extension of martial law in Mindanao. Mayan Los Baños has the story.
As expected, the president's request to extend military rule in Mindanao for one more year from January 1 to December 31, 2019 was approved by the House and Senate in a joint session today. 235 lawmakers voted in favor of the extension, 28 were against, while 1 abstained. It was the third time the palace had sought an extension of martial law in Mindanao since July 2017. Led by Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, officials from the Executive Department came in full force to the joint session. Medialdea said martial law is needed in Mindanao to quell terrorism and an ongoing rebellion.
Now more than ever, we cannot afford to show our enemies a moment of weakness in our resolve to defeat them.
Opposition lawmakers insist there is no clear basis to extend martial law, and allowing its implementation for 1.5 years is more than enough already.
There is no ground, there is no actual armed uprising that is taking place in Mindanao to justify the extension of martial law. We must recall that Proclamation 216 was premised on the Siege of Marawi.
This undue prolongation of martial law in Mindanao would amount to perpetuity, considering the length of time this declaration and extension had been made. And it is an admission by the military and the police authorities that they have failed to achieve the purported objectives of martial law.
The Makabayan Bloc meanwhile questioned the statement of officials that there were no human rights violations during the implementation of martial law in Mindanao. They say the Commission on Human Rights data disagrees.
Madam Speaker, for the record, I have here matrix and in fact 155 cases filed at the Commission on Human Rights on various human rights violations during the period of implementation of martial law.
But some representatives from Mindanao support the extension of military rule in their hometowns.
During the period of martial law, we experienced an unprecedented period of peace. Unprecedented kasi parang sinasabi nila merong semblance of discipline daw ang mga tao.
Reporting for News 5, Mayan Los Baños, we are One News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines is welcoming the extension of martial law in Mindanao. AFP spokesman Edgardo Arevalo said this will help quell rebellion persisting in the south. Malacanang hailed both chambers of Congress and called martial law's extension a positive development.